Hello viewers, I'm your host Swati Kundra. Today in South Asia Focus, we will discuss the political and cultural scenario from South Asia region. Let's start with Balochistan in Pakistan, where Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif, in the presence of top military brass, inaugurated a new multi-million-dollar trade route via Gwadar port. Many delegates from China were also present as the first shipment of goods arrived at Gwadar from Beijing. The use of the port is facing strong opposition by the Baloch people. A report.
Pakistani Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif and Army Chief General Raheel Sharif welcomed the first large shipment of Chinese goods through the renovated port of Gwadar in Balochistan, part of a trade link between Western China and the Arabian Sea. The project is facing strong opposition by locals who have been struggling for freedom from Pakistani occupation since years.
We Baloch strongly condemn the inauguration of Gwadar port, which gives officially access China to Baloch land against their will. We request all those ambassadors and guests, foreigner guests who are joining this inauguration ceremony to avoid it because it's built on blood of Baloch people, and this is against will of Baloch people.
The deep water port is key to the China-Pakistan economic corridor that also encompasses roads and energy projects. Beijing has invested $46 billion in the CPEC to ease trade ties. The project has also much significance for Pakistan, which aims to integrate South Asia, China and Central Asia into an economic zone offering greater opportunities.
Pakistan is a proud partner of China and President Xi in this initiative. We will leave no stone unturned in ensuring that CPEC and all the projects under its umbrella are materialized in time and in full.
However, atrocities on Baloch people have reportedly increased after Islamabad and Beijing signed the CPEC agreement. The people in Balochistan who are championing the cause of the Free Balochistan movement are opposing the project, which they say will lead to exploitation of their resources.
We have a clear message to Nawaz Sharif, Pakistani army and the entire Pakistani establishment that Balochistan belongs to Baloch people. No matter how many innocent civilians you kill, no matter how many innocent political activists, teachers, doctors, intellectuals and literary persons you abduct, torture, kill and dump their mutilated bodies, we will resist China-Pakistan economic corridor at any cost.
In the past few years, many political activists have been kidnapped or killed by security forces in Balochistan. According to the Voices for Baloch Missing Persons, an NGO, state authorities have confessed the arrest of more than 12,000 people by law enforcement agencies in just 1.5 years. But China and Pakistan seem eager to move further ahead on the Gwadar project, which will give Beijing easy access to the international market.
Will the CPEC prove to be a game changer for the Pakistani economy? How is the domestic opposition to the project and deteriorating security situation complicating Islamabad's ambitions? To know more on this, my colleague Ravi Khandelwal spoke with Nela Kadri Baloch, a political activist from this region.
Nela ji, welcome to the show. China has started its operation from Gwadar port in Balochistan. Do you welcome this step?
No, how can I? No Baloch can welcome this step. This is occupation. This is direct occupation without consensus of Baloch people. If anyone comes to Baloch land, including Pakistan and China, we consider it as occupation, and we consider it as a violation of international laws. We consider it as violation of the United Nations Convention on indigenous peoples' rights, and we consider it as supporting Pakistan to genocide, to keep on genocide Baloch people by Chinese government.
But China is spending $46 billion in this project. So don't you believe that China-Pakistan economic corridor will bring more prosperity to Balochistan?
China already has taken trillions of dollars gold since 1958 from 1968, and then in 1973 they had Pakistan and China, they had Sindh gold mine project. So from all those years, China and Pakistan both are stealing gold from Balochistan. Pakistan is stealing gas and oil from Balochistan and other minerals. So China already has taken trillions of dollars from Balochistan. So this $46 million is nothing. And this money that China has promised, it has promised to Punjab. More than 80% of the projects of CPAC are developing in Punjab.
Since the Baloch are opposing any foreign engagement in its territory, what will be your future strategy as far as Balochistan is concerned?
Look, Baloch people are using all kinds of struggle against occupation. It's not disputed territory, I'm sorry. It's an occupied country. Balochistan is a country that Pakistan has occupied by invasion by its army in 1948. So Balochistan is not a territory, it's a country, and it's a country that had its borders, its parliament, its constitution, and all its basic democratic institutions. So this is Balochistan, Baloch people, Baloch nation is not going to accept this CPAC, this occupation of China and Pakistan on Balochistan. So we will struggle until we get our independence, we get our freedom, and we throw out such kind of occupation from our country by all means of struggle.
Not only human rights are violated in Balochistan, but the security situation remains grim. Recently, a bomb explosion at Shah Nurani Shrine in the province killed over 50 people and more than 100 got injured. This was the second major attack in a month claimed by Islamic State. To know the reason behind such attacks in Balochistan, my colleague Chandrakala Chaudhary spoke with Mazdaq Dilshad Baloch.
Hello Mazdaq Dilshad, welcome to our show. So first of all, I would like to talk on the recent attack on Nurani Shah Shrine. The ISIS has claimed the attack of this Nurani Shrine, of course. What would be the motive behind this target? What do you have to say on that regard?
First of all, this is a very shameful act to attack such a religious place. Shah Nurani Shrine was attacked. The main motive that we can see is to change this the social structure we have in the Baloch culture, the civilization we have, the society. Pakistan is trying to change that into a very extremist and violent society, where only one group is allowed to do what they want to do, and anyone else who is not according to their needs or their sight, they should be killed, or they should either change or they should be killed. So this attack is totally to show that, because Balochistan has a very pluralistic society, and they are trying to attack that, and this is being done on a daily basis.
So do you think religious extremism can one of the reason why Baloch region has been, obviously the peace has come to a decline obviously in the Baloch? So what do you have to say on this regard?
Actually the problem is that Pakistan has been nurturing extremists, and they have been using Balochistan as a safe haven for them, and now they are using them, the extremists, religious extremists, against the Baloch freedom movement. So it's a good tool for Pakistan to use these assets that they have against Baloch freedom movement. And you can see that attack on the lawyers, more than 100 lawyers, young lawyers were martyred. The attack on the trained cadets, police cadets. Other than that, they're killing our people every day, students, lawyers, teachers. But now they're trying to attack a shrine. And you can see that this is same as this was being done in Afghanistan, and now they're doing it in here. This was the same thing was done in the Arabian Peninsula. Now they're doing it here in Balochistan, and it shows that Pakistan is behind all of these attacks.
So do you believe that Pakistan has failed to eliminate terrorists in the country, which can be one of the reasons why Baloch has been facing such kind of trouble since quite a few years?
Totally. Pakistan, because Pakistan is not, I wouldn't say Pakistan has failed, because Pakistan never tried to eliminate terrorism within Pakistan, because it's the state, terrorism is the state policy of Pakistan, and they nurture the terrorists. And you can see whoever attacked Paris, they were Pakistanis. London attacks, attacks on Times Square, New York, attacks within India, attacks in Balochistan, Afghanistan. You can see daily Kabul is being hit, Helmand is being hit, Kunduz. It's all being supported by Pakistan Army, Pakistan establishment, and Pakistan is nurturing them. And this is a kind of a business for Pakistan. They also get financial and military aid from the Western countries, and then they provide the same aid to the terrorists who go and kill their own people.
From Balochistan, let's move to Afghanistan, which continues to remain violent as the Taliban has been targeting the foreign forces and diplomatic missions to create instability and conflict. A report.
Turmoil in Afghanistan continues to simmer as Islamic fundamentalists and the Taliban are leaving no stone unturned to destabilize the Afghan government and target foreign forces. On November 11, 6 civilians were killed and many injured after a Taliban suicide bomber rammed a parked car loaded with explosives into the German consulate in Mazar-e-Sharif. The blast was followed by heavily armed Taliban terrorists storming the consulate premises and an overnight gun battle with Afghan and German security forces.
Mein tief empfundenes Mitgefühl ist bei den Angehörigen der Opfer. 6 sind bisher bestätigt. Unsere Gedanken gelten den vielen Toten und Verletzten. Den Verletzten wünsche ich baldige Genesung. Danken möchte ich ganz besonders den afghanischen Sicherheitskräften und den Einsatzkräften von Resolute Support, die schnell zur Hilfe geeilt sind und den Angriff mit großem Mut, hoher Professionalität und dem Einsatz eigenen Lebens erfolgreich zurückgeschlagen haben.
On November 12, a Taliban suicide bomber dressed as a laborer blew himself up at the NATO air base at Bagram, north of the Afghan capital Kabul, killing at least 4 Americans and wounding several other persons.
در داخل بیس یک دفعه انفجار شد ساعت 5:25 دقیقه بود. دیگه تا فعلا معلوم نیست که چند نفر کشته و چند نفر زخمی است. دیگه راه بند شده تا پلیس هم نمیمونه کسی داخل بره. دیگه ما خبر نداریم. ما قدر میفهمیم بس.
Taliban has been targeting foreigners as they fear to have lost influence in the area, and they are desperate to take over the reins of the country. However, many countries across the world have jointly supported Afghanistan lately in its fight against terrorism. Afghan leaders remain unperturbed by Taliban threats and violence and back the government as it goes after the terrorists.
Let's move to Indian capital New Delhi, where the India International Trade Fair 2016 attracts traders from South Asia and other parts of the world. The 2-week-long fair has over 7,000 participants exhibiting a variety of products.
One of the most awaited fairs of New Delhi and a major tourist attraction, India International Trade Fair kicked off in the capital on 14 November. With as many as 7,000 traders participating in the event, the fair brings the finest crafts and authentic delicacies from different parts of the world in one complex. The fair also provides the small artisans a platform to reach out to a larger number of consumers. Like every year, this year too, millions are expected to attend the fair. Among the many attractions of the fair are the dry fruits and carpets from Afghanistan and handloom products from Bangladesh.
Afghani traditional carpets made by hand and also pure wool people can use these carpets for a long time. We are participating in this exhibition for many years.
My product is handcrafted Jamdani traditional shari. This is very traditional. So I invite you to visit here and buy shari. This is our tradition. This is Bangladeshi tradition. So you all are welcome to my stall.
Visitors can also get a glimpse of the rich culture of various Indian states at their respective pavilions. The idea behind these pavilions is to attract tourists. The theme of the fair this year is Digital India, the dream project of Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi.
In a population of 1.25 billion plus, India is home to 1.05 billion mobile phones. We have got 107 billion Aadhaar, 105 crore mobile phone, 107 crore Aadhaar. 50 crore internet by October 2016. Amazing. I was putting 40 crores, in few months it became 50 crores, 500 million.
The Indian government's foreign policy advocates developing cordial relationship with the neighbouring countries through trade and people-to-people contact, among others, and the trade fair is just another step in that direction.
Now we move to Nepal, where an alliance of Janjati and Madhesi parties opposed to Nepal's new constitution gave an ultimatum of 15 days to Prime Minister Pushpa Kamal Dahal-led government to amend it. The alliance has warned of mass protests if its demands are not met. We have a report.
The Janjati and Madhesi parties said no progress had been made in addressing their demands since the Prachanda-led government assumed office 3 months ago. Nepal was roiled by protests against the new constitution last year. The country's economy was hit by a prolonged blockade of trade points along the border with India. Madhesis say the constitution fails to address the hopes and aspirations of different classes and communities, including indigenous nationalities. Though there were divergent views among the Madhesi parties about serving the ultimatum, they stand firm on the demand that the government should address their grievances. The Madhesi parties in the Sanghya Gathbandhan have organized protests over their demands, which include demarcation of the provincial borders, citizenship and proportional representation based on population. Sanghya Gathbandhan also demanded the implementation of its agreement with the Nepali Congress and the CPN Unity Centre signed with Prachanda's government took over the country's reins.
We are now joined by Anil Kumar Jha, the president of Nepal's Sadbhavna Party, who returned to Kathmandu after a week-long visit to the country's Madhes region. Mr. Jha, it's been more than a year of protests against the promulgation of the new constitution. What is the reaction of people in Madhes?
The Madhesi people struggled since long for the genuine rights within the unified Nepal. For the Madhesi people, for the indigenous communities, for Dalits, women and other underprivileged and deprived peoples of Nepal. But last year's movement, which went through more than 6 months, concluded without any meaningful solution, so that the people of Tarai and other peoples who feels themselves underprivileged are very much frustrated, and they thinking about the alternative way of a struggle, and they are very much angry with the parties who were in the favor of promulgation of constitution 1 year back.
Do you think the government is serious about the reaction of peoples residing in Madhes about alternatives of protests?
They are not thinking in the positive way that if the people are frustrated, no military, no armed police force and no, the government security forces can make them normal. That the genuine solution is the government or the parliament should address the people's people's genuine demand what the time, what the society, what the new generation of society thinking about, that must be addressed, that must be satisfied. But the thinking of establishment, I am not talking about government. In Nepal, government changed in 9 months, 6 months, 1 year, 1.5 years. But the permanent machineries of the government, state organs are thinking in the military, the solution in Tarai, if the peaceful agitating parties will start the agitation in a strong way, or the new political forces, if the new political forces emerge with the hard line, then government is, I think, planning in that way, but that will be very much unfortunate for the Nepali society.
As constitution amendment is in limbo, what has the alliance planned to do next?
The alliance at the Madhesi Morcha planning for another phase of agitation, peaceful agitation, and the agitation which can less hamper the day-to-day life of the Nepali society, the common people. That is why we are giving the government 15 days time from day before yesterday, and we are searching for a very peaceful and very less hampering way of struggle, how we can reinforce the government, but with the less hamper to the common people.
Moving on, the city of Gwadar in India's Odisha state organized a surfing festival cum competition which has attracted a large number of local and foreign tourists. Let's check it out.
Performing daring stunts on gigantic waves. Surfers from across the world gathered in Gwadar city of Odisha for 3 days to participate in the 5th International India Surf Festival. The event comprised stand-up paddle competition, Asian surfing competition, kite surfing, sea surfing, parasailing, surfing yoga and a lot of fun-filled events. Such festivals bring talent and make them aware about the beauty of the nature.
We started with 38 surfers in the first day with guests, and look at this, in 5 years we have more than 100 surfers coming from all parts of the world, not only from India. It's become a macabre for them now. They want to show that they care, they share, their knowledge is ready for anybody who wants to learn.
The India Surfing Festival also hosted a special segment for women where workshops and competitions were lined up to encourage girls to take up water sports.
I am a biker, I love motorbikes very much, and the surf festival has given me a reason to come out and explore those beautiful beaches of Orissa. I'm a day visitor and I'm getting to know about surfing.
It proved to be an amazing experience for all those who were associated directly or indirectly to the event. And the kind of response organizers got from the people and participants brought a smile to their faces.
Well, surfing is quite an adventurous sport. With that, we come to the end of this week's episode of South Asia Focus. Be with us again next week at the same time. Goodbye until then.